So we have made the recording arrangement so that those who are absent for some reason should not miss the contents. The lectures recorded last year were provided to you for warm-up. Similarly, I will provide you now. The conduct of lectures has undergone a phenomenal change which was there say 2-3 decades back and now. There is no point in reinventing the wheel. The circuit theory is a very classical subject which has been at its saturation few centuries back. Not much new development. Means it's not that it's an old one, it's a very classical one, and that is the livelihood of human being. There is no change for centuries, generations together. Like that, it's a very classical subject, and very classical material which is presented by renowned academicians is available on the web. I will provide you one such complete course which you are supposed to go through so as to get the entire syllabus covered. Then you will say what is the role of the classroom discussion. The thing is that those sessions which are especially conducted by some IIT professors, we are not in a position to understand that when we view it once. Therefore, these lectures will provide you, if you have undergone the course, means that is those lectures earlier, that time there may be some gap which you have not understood. So that it is expected, means how one should, now there is a lot of self-learning. Videos are available, you go through them. While you go through them, in a notebook, you should note down what are learning inhibitions. That is, what is that which you have not understood. You should note it somewhere. And then you should try to get it clarified. By nowadays there are question answer quora is there, or you can have so many avenues available by which you can get the queries addressed. What we will do here, we will make it very simplified, or rather somehow, being a classic course, it is presumed that, means some prerequisite, that is, it is expected that the students know lot many things, whereas which is not the reality. And as that reality is not there, the contents are like monologue. The understanding is not given importance. So what we try to do, in the classroom we are having 3 lectures per hour, also today's slot, then one more slot on Friday. We have amply available time. So we shall interact more and make it a non-standard type of content delivery discussion. I mean, just like in your 10th, you have a group study. In that group study, one who has learnt more tries to address queries of the other in a non-standard format. हे असं लक्षात ठेवायचं, हे असं करायचं. But for that, examination is the major theme, whereas the difference is understanding is the major theme. So we will go from that point of view. So I will provide you a classical lecture series. We will create a Google Classroom. You are supposed to, we are having ample tutorials. At time of tutorials, we solve some problem. At the same time, as a part of ISC, we will be having quizzes regularly in lectures. Then those lectures you will view and prepare your handwritten notes and upload them in the Google Classroom. So that as of today, we will explore all possible avenues so that each and every student learns to the best of his or her own capacity. So that's what we will do. And this classroom discussion, we will make it so discreet in the sense that very, very trivial queries means those are not worth to mention in engineering college, because we say that, oh, this is assumed, but which is not the, means if one is asked what is the major impediment in higher education in India, what are learning inhibitions, the major impediment which is existing as of today in higher education is that the presumptions are too many and the reality is far away from that. Means students don't know very simple things. And there is one more counter logic also. Is it required for everybody to know everything in the world? No. So, means I do not unnecessarily thrust upon the things as well. It's not that everything needs to be known, but I should have some basics, that is the foundation of a building. The material used for foundation must be strong, that concrete must be strong. Whereas, because that is carrying entire load of the building. Whereas, the middle walls, that brick and mortar, the cement which is used in the mortar for the walls in an RCC structure can be of substandard quality. But the cement which is used for pillars, beams and slab must be of very superior quality. So we should be able to segregate where I should focus, what I can ignore, what I can rush through, like that. I hope it's quite clear now. Now we start with, again this is not discussed, I don't know whether have you ever discussed these things any time in your life before. So if a question is asked, what is electric charge, what answer do you have? So we start from the very basics. The water level model, all these things I think that you have viewed already. So there is no need to repeat that. So it's a simple question, but we shall have some glimpse of many things. We have ample time, and as I already stated that we did not bother about syllabus completion because that I will provide. So that there should not be any problem that this is not covered like that. So we shall try to, means this is called a flipped classroom approach. What is, anybody knows flipped classroom? Means that in a normal classroom, students learn the content for the first time in the classroom. While in flipped classroom, students are already aware of what is to be discussed to some extent, and that needs to be refined during discussion. So a simple question is, what is electric charge? Does anybody have got an answer? Anybody having an answer? What is electric charge? Anyone? What is electric charge? Is it, I have asked some altogether different question, not related to our subject? No, it's quite relevant to us. What is electric charge? Anybody? You can attempt.
Amount of current passing through limited amount of time.
Amount of
Current passing through
limited amount of time. Then I, he has attempted to let us appreciate him, but still I would cross question. Then what is current? What is current?
Amount of charge passing.
Right. Means just see that here. No, so now let us elaborate debate on this. So Sammy, I would like to give a very relevant example. Suppose that nowadays foreign language is much talked about, and we want to study, say someone wants to study Spanish language. He's interested in learning Spanish language. Then is few students register in an institute that I in the college that I want Spanish. Then the system administration starts searching for teachers. Then they find a very good Spanish teacher, and somehow he is known to be a very nice Spanish teacher. They bring him into the class. What is the problem? That he is a good Spanish teacher, but he teaches Spanish through German language, which students are not aware. So what he has said, to explain charge, he used a term called as current. Again, there is no problem. Because to explain something, I have to take help of some other thing. Till that point, there is no issue. But what is the major problem now? Because that makes his explanation of charge not conclusive. To explain charge, he took help of some new phenomenon. Means, if I want to learn Spanish, I should learn it from a language which I already know. So to explain charge, no doubt that I can take help of some other quantities, but that other quantity must be known to me. Then when I ask what is that, then he says that charge is amount of current which has flown in some given amount of time, and charge is, and current is rate of flow of charge. So that is interdependency, and we need to resolve interdependency. How can we do that? What is the way out? Any other answer? Any other estimate is there? Number of electrons. Right. So we are taking help of electrons. So electron possesses what? What is our question? What is charge? So charge is comprised of electrons, but that electron possesses charge, means a quantifiable, somewhat significant amount of charge is a pool of electrons, because the charge of electrons is very negligible, of the order of 10 to the minus 19. So how to resolve this deadlock? Any answer? While learning, there are interdependency and prerequisites. To understand A or to understand C, we need to know B. To understand B, we need to know A. And most of the times, to understand A, we need to know C. How the very process of understanding will progress further? What is it? It is now a logical question. How it is to be solved? There are sequence of things which I need to understand. To understand E, I need to understand D. To understand D, I need to understand C, then B. Up to is no problem. Up to A also no problem. Then what will you focus? You will focus on understanding A. But you realize to understand A, you need to understand E. So it is a cyclic dependency. And how you will resolve it? What are the ways to resolve this cyclic dependency? Any idea? There is cyclic dependency. So what can be the starting point? How you can enter the ring? Any idea? It's logical question. It need not be earlier known. What be done? Means charge, current, electron, all are revolving around interdepending on each other. So this is not only here, but at any in any subject this problem comes. So how to resolve? How, the question is, how this cyclic dependency of understanding be broken? What is the way out? Nobody?
Experimentation.
Experimentation is not the answer to this. Simple. Understanding dependencies of understanding in a cyclic manner. So this cycle, this circular ring needs to be broken. It should be cut. At any point you can cut it. And then what do? You assume A. You assume A, then you understand B, then you understand C, then you understand D, then you understand E. And let the assumption of A carry on for quite long amount of time. And then later on, as you understood up to E, then later on, automatically you will start, whatever you assumed, most part of that assumed thing would be automatically understood by you as because you understood all further things. Right? So this is the way with which cyclic dependency is broken, by assuming something. That's number one. So in that context, what is electric charge? I ask a further question. Whether electric charge is a reality or a postulate? Why at all there are two electric charges in the world? Why at all two electric charges in the world? To balance. Whether only two things can balance each other, not more things. But again the question is, when is there, okay, charge and another similar thing is mass. What is mass? That is matter. What is matter? Bunch of particles, basic particles. Again, earlier at molecule was considered to be basic particle. Then it came to atom. Then it came to John Dalton. Then further thing, Chadwick invented proton, neutron, and then proton and then neutrons. As early as 1932, James Chadwick, neutron. Then later on, these particles were considered non-divisible. But now you have many logics, pi, neutrinos, mesons, quarks, etc. So even if we discard that and restrict ourselves up to neutron, proton, electron, neutron, that electron is comprised of what? What is matter? कशाचे बनलेला आहे? What is that? कशाचं आहे ते? पार्टिकल कशाचं आहे? काय मटेरियल काय? Atom. This I started discussing because it said balancing. मग उलट काय आहे का? तिथं बॅलन्स मास तर नाहीये निगेटिव्ह उत्तर. मग चार्ज असं आपण असं बॅलन्स व्हायला पाहिजे हे सगळं आपणच हे करतोय ना. म्हणजे काय, व्हॉट वी आर ट्राईंग, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज प्रीकन्सिव्ड नोशन. व्हॉट इज प्रीकन्सिव्ड नोशन? वी ट्राय टू सी व्हॉट वी वॉन्ट टू सी. आता मी तुम्हाला काय विचारलंय, दोन चार्जेस का आहेत, का दोनच आहेत का? पहिला चार्ज ही रियालिटी आहे का, नंतर काय पॉस्ट्युलेट आहे, आणि दोन टाइप्सच का? मग दोन टाइप्सचे काला आपलं उत्तर नाही आहे. पण प्रीकन्सिव्ह नोशन म्हणजे काय, जे आपण इतके दिवस ऐकत आलो आहोत तितकं ते चूक असणं शक्य नाही. म्हणून ते म्हणजे जसं तुम्ही काय करता, यू परफॉर्म एक्सपेरिमेंट्स इन लॅबोरेटरीज, राईट, the conclusion of experiment is already known to you from last year's journal. So what you do, conclusion should be based on observations. Observations are never correct. Then what you try to do, you try to adjust observations so as to suit conclusion. Because that is called as preconceived notion. Like that is said that to justify 2, we try to stretch our intellect and imagination, that balancing. What will happen if it is not balanced? So these are many issues. We are not deliberating that. Not that our particle physics is our, what we can say, subject matter. But that we must know. So what we should know is that postulate is an assumption. There are some rules. Based on given postulates and some rules, we have some prediction. And then what you have said, we conduct experiment. Based on that experiment, we observe something. If the prediction means in ITI, there is no understanding by a student before performing experiment. Whereas in engineering college, student must be knowing this. In the experiment, something like this should occur. And then experiment is for validating that. So if the predicted thing is actually happening, if the observation matches the prediction, then the postulate is validated. And if the prediction doesn't match the observation, then there is a need for reworking on the postulate. So like that, what we can say is electric charge is a postulate. 2 types of electric charges is a further postulate. Right? Then, what is voltage? What is voltage? Voltage, even though now with new National Education Policy 2020, there is a new theme of learning through mother tongue, but which was not till now. So, the learning inhibitions, voltage is something, the word being foreign to us, that doesn't make any impact. Just like by Gobel's theory, by listening it for many times, we assume that volt means what is pseudo understanding. Pseudo understanding is that understanding which everyone, because of repeated bombardment, starts feeling that he is understanding, even though he has understood nothing. व्होल्टेज हा शब्द 50 वेळा ऐकल्यामुळं, व्होल्टेज म्हणजे काही मला काहीही कळत नसलं तरी तो इतका मी त्याला सरावून जातो की ते मला कळलं असं वाटायला लागतं. व्होल्टेजला मराठीमध्ये काय आहे? इलेक्ट्रिक करंट. त्याला मराठीत काय म्हणतो आपण? विद्युत प्रवाह, धारा, विद्युत प्रवाह. इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज त्याला आपण काय म्हणतो? चार्ज, विद्युत प्रभार. आणि तसं इलेक्ट्रिक व्होल्टेजला काय म्हणतो? आता विभवांतर आहे ते शब्द. पोटेन्शियल डिफरन्सला विभवांतर शब्द आहे. परंतु तो विभव हा शब्द जरी मराठी असला तरी तो एखाद्या फॉरेन लँग्वेज पेक्षा आपल्या आकलनाच्या पलीकडचा आहे. विभवांतर हा शब्द आहे त्याला. त्यामुळे तो कळत. मग एवढा अवघड नाही, मराठीतला पण सोपा असा कुठला शब्द आहे? व्होल्टेज नाही. विद्युत प्रवाह, विद्युत प्रभार आणि काय? विद्युत दाब. एक 25-30 वर्षापूर्वीची मराठीतनं आता अलीकडच्या मराठी पुस्तकात व्होल्टेजेस लिहितात बऱ्याचदा, पण एक 25-30 वर्षापूर्वीची पुस्तकं त्यात तुम्हाला ते दिसेल. सो इलेक्ट्रिक व्होल्टेज इन वॉटर लेवल मॉडेल अँड आवर मॉडेल. वॉटर लेवल हे कळण्यासारखं आहे, तुम्ही ते व्हिडिओज बघितलेले आहेत. सो वॉटर लेवल इज इलेक्ट्रिक व्होल्टेज, वॉटर क्वांटिटी इज इलेक्ट्रिक चार्ज, वॉटर फ्लो इज इलेक्ट्रिक करंट. देन बॅटरी इज व्हॉट? Battery, electric battery provides voltage. It is charge pump. Battery is charge pump. So now I will, this is called as discrete thinking, so that you will, when you recollect everything together, it will clarify many things. You know that this is the power supply which we have with us. How many terminals are there? He is very, means the answer, normal answer is 3, but he is not also wrong, because there are actually 5. But of that, these 2 are same, for just socket adjustment is there. So 3, is it okay? 3 terminals. What are the names of these terminals? Phase or live, earth and neutral. Now my question is very simple. Have you experimented something using a tester? Tester glows in how many terminals? Which terminal? Sometimes normal case. 1. What is that? Live. In neutral, doesn't glow. In earth, it doesn't glow. Then my further question, whether neutral and earth are same? You seem to think always in what we can say extreme manner. Let us be, it's very nice thinking actually. Means what that is called as not disruptive thinking. Some think always something which is odd. What will happen if I take common op today? That's why, but in normal case. So tester glows only in live terminal. In neutral and earth it doesn't glow. My simple question is whether neutral and earth are same. If not, how they are different? And why? That is one. And next is why tester glows in phase. Between earth. Oh, so he said earth means why? We are on earth. Because and our body provides some, it's not infinite, it's some path it provides, that's okay. Then why it doesn't glow in neutral?
Ideally, ground and neutral one, the potential difference zero.
Are they same?
Ideally same also.
What is that? Whether neutral and earth are same or not, then what? Is neutral same as earth? If not, why doesn't glow? Voltage?
Ideally, potential difference between neutral and ground is zero. In practically, असते एकदम small असते potential difference.
he said that potential difference between earth and neutral is ideally zero or negligible. Right? Listen, now don't discuss. You discuss when I say so. What I do, I bring one more terminal. तीन आहे आणि एक मी असं टर्मिनल आणलंय असं आणि मला काही जोडलं नाही, हँगिंग ठेवलं. लक्षात आलं का? This is the switch. 3 wires have come from somewhere from main electric connection. What those are? फेज उजवीकडे का डावीकडे असते? उजवीकडे फेज. ही अर्थ आहे, ही फेज आणि न्यूट्रल. अर्थ, फेज आणि न्यूट्रल. बरोबर आहे? राईट. आता मी काय करतो, बऱ्याचदा कधी कधी असते इथे एक हे असते बघा, असे काही टिपिकल याच्यामध्ये असते. असं एक मी केलं आणि इथे एक पॉइंट दिला आणि तो काय हे कुठं आले, हे मात्र मेन्स पण आले सगळे टू मेन इलेक्ट्रिक कनेक्शन. इथने मी वायर काढतो आणि इथं सोडून देतो. लक्षात आलं ना? यू गॉट इट? three wires have run to my 3-point socket. Phase, neutral and earth, right? Phase, neutral and earth. Now what I do, I prepare one more terminal and don't connect anywhere. Wire, तुम्हाला wire दिसत wire पण दिलेली आहे, पण त्याच्यामध्ये सोडून दिलेली आहे. याला म्हणतो मी टेस्ट टर्मिनल. T. You got it? Is it right? What will happen? Tester grows in only phase. Tester doesn't grow in phase and neutral. Sorry, neutral and earth. Will tester grow in test? Obviously no, right? Then whether test and neutral or test and earth are same? Are you getting me? There is no rocket science. हे कुठलाही हायर लेवल इंजिनिअरिंग नाही आहे. इट्स व्हेरी सिंपल. ITI लेवलचा आहे. फेज आणि मध्ये काय फरक आहे मग? एसी आहे की डीसी आहे? एसी और डीसी? एसी. मग फेज आणि मध्ये फरक काय? इट्स एसी नो. DC supply असेल तर एक निगेटिव्ह पॉझिटिव्ह तुम्ही. Are you getting me? If there is a DC supply, then one terminal is different from the other. Different. हे चांगलं वाईट नाही, आणि ते डिफरन्स इंडिकेट करण्याकरता मायनस आपण देतो तिथं. मग एसी मध्ये काय असं वेगळं असतंय? एसी मध्ये काय असतंय? So why? There are a bunch of questions. Number one, why phase and neutral are different if it's AC supply? Number one. But we observe the difference. Tester goes in phase and tester doesn't go in neutral. Right? Tester doesn't grow in earth also. Even neutral and earth are same. Tester doesn't grow in T also. Even neutral, earth and T are same. Yes or no? What are the answers? Do you know test lamp? Test lamp म्हणजे काय? साधा लॅम्प, बल्ब, होल्डर, बल्ब, दोन वायर्स. इट टेस्ट लॅम्प बरोबर. सो इफ यू पुट टेस्ट लॅम्प इन फेज अँड न्यूट्रल, whether test lamp will glow? Yes or no? Obviously yes. If you put a test lamp between phase and earth, whether test lamp will glow? Phase and earth? If phase and neutral test lamp glows, that is not a question, it's a very obvious phenomenon. If you put test lamp between phase and earth, will it glow? If you put test line between Earth and neutral, will it glow? If you put test line between phase and test, will it glow? Phase and test. Yes. Phase and neutral, it has to glow.
Yes.
Why? Because those are coming from the generator. But phase and earth, why should it glow? Phase and earth, why should it glow? Huh? Between? Between phase and earth. Now we have got inverter. Our inverter is bigger one. UPS. You got UPS. If I put the UPS on the table, and don't connect it fully charged UPS. If I put fully charged, हे जे सब आहे ना ते UPS आहे. UPS मागे असं असतं सॉकेट बरोबर. असं UPS ठेवला आणि UPS मी चार्जिंग लावतो मेन्सला. तो ती काय वायर काढून टाकली. UPS is charged. If these are 3 terminals of UPS, what will happen? And UPS I put on this table. What will happen? ते आता हे सोडून देऊ. काय होईल? For UPS has got 3 terminals, one on right hand side, one on left hand side, one top. मग आता टेस्ट लॅम्प कुठे लागेल? Between phase neutral. इथं लागेल का? इथं लागेल का? लागेल. What is earth? अर्थ म्हणजे काय मिनिंग आहे त्याचा? ते कुठे ते अर्थिंग कुठे जोडलं असतंय? Ground is something. Ground is general reference, which can mean anything. Earth is actually earth. बरोबर? मग लागेल का नाही लागणार? नाही लागणार. कदाचित लागेल तिथं ते ऍक्च्युली बॉडीला जोडलं असतं म्हणून लागू शकतं, पण आयडियली ते नसेल तर लागायला नाही पाहिजे. Then phase neutral are coming from generator. मग न्यूट्रल का म्हणतो आपण त्यात? AC आहे का DC आहे? Then is AC right? If it is a DC, then plus minus I can say. Why I say phase and neutral for earth? Justify. How म्हणजे phase ही काय स्पेशल आहे त्यामध्ये? त्याला अशी बरीच की एक वन ऑफ दी व्हेरी नॉनसेन्स आन्सर्स की न्यूटन रिटर्न पाथ असं काय? इज नथिंग लाईक. दीज आर terminals of an AC generator, right? Then these being terminals of AC generator, why should they be different? I should call this P1, P2, T1, T2 something. It is interchangeable because potential of one becomes higher than the other and vice versa. Then why these are named differently as phase and neutral, and why tester doesn't glow in neutral? Whether neutral are the same. These are very, very prime questions which you must know. अर्थ कुठे आलेली आहे? आता अलीकडं बऱ्याच एक 50 वर्षापूर्वी प्रश्न विचार असतं तर बऱ्याच जणी अर्थ माहीतच नाही. म्हणजे त्यावेळी काय होतं, अगदी स्टँडर्ड बिल्डिंग जे आहेत तिथं अर्थ असायचं आणि 3 पॉइंट प्लग हा रेअर असायचा त्यावेळी. आता सगळीकडे असतो. मग ते अर्थ काय करतो आपण? बिल्ड काय करतो बिल्डिंग मध्ये इन आवर अपार्टमेंट और इफ इट्स बेंगलोर बिल्डिंग that wire is actually physically put into earth and it needs a copper plate, salt, carbon, कोळसा, मीठ आणि तांब्याची प्लेट ठेवून ते अर्थिंग केलेलं असतं. Means it is actually immersed in earth. Right? What about neutral? Is it earth? No? Oh yes. Now my question is whether neutral is earth or not. My question is whether neutral is earth or not. If no, if the answer is no, then why at all? If means neutral comes from where? Generator. Actually not generator. Actually from to our home, neutral comes from supply. कुठून जनरेटर असतो त्याचा मग काय असतं डिस्ट्रीब्युशन ट्रान्सफॉर्मर येते न्यूट्रल. मग एनीवेअर इज इट अर्थ और नॉट. अगदी सोपं आहे फार आणि बरोबर. when you travel at long distance high voltage ते दिसतात तुम्हाला ते किती असतात हाय व्होल्टेज वायर्स किती असतात मोठे खांब असतात बघा किती असतात त्याच्यावर 3 ते काय असतं RYB 3 फेज कोयनामध्ये 3 फेज जनरेटर आहे because that is more economic. Single phase पण करता येतं डिस्ट्रीब्यूट that is more economic. Then it is stepped up. का करतात to का step up पे in voltage step up म्हणजे काय करता विचारलं नाही आहे. What is said? I said is stepped up. What is the reason? He said to increase voltage. Increase of voltage is not the reason. It is description of stepping up. I am asking why.
Avoid losses.
To reduce the losses. Low voltage transmission will lead to losses. Then that 3 phase RYB 3 wires come. Then it comes at the distribution transformer. Distribution transformer काय होतं? Which type of transformer? It is 3 phase transformer. Input is what type? In 3 phase there are 2. In 3 phase there are 2 ways of connections. For input, for a distribution transformer, high voltage input is connected in delta. RYB come. And low voltage output is in star. So RYB means the coils are at one end 3 coils, right? R comes here, Y comes here, B comes here. And the primaries, right? Primaries are like this. And secondaries and this is neutral. Then from there in few homes R and N run. In few other homes B and N runs. In few Y म्हणून कधी कधी बिल्डिंग मध्ये काही यातला लाईट जातात. बिल्डिंग आपण मोठी असेल तर कधी कधी तुम्हाला असं होतं सिंगल फेजिंग म्हणजे एक फेज जाणे. तर काही फ्लॅट मध्ये लाईट नाहीये काही मध्ये आहे. सो R and N, Y and N and B and N. आणि घरात जे माहिती आपण कुठली माहित नसतं म्हणून आपण P म्हणतो फेज म्हणतो. पण न्यूट्रल काय खरं? मग न्यूट्रल जे आहे त्याचा आणि अर्थ संबंध काय? न्यूट्रल आणि अर्थचा काही संबंध आहे का? न्यूट्रल कम्स फ्रॉम द डिस्ट्रीब्युशन ट्रान्सफॉर्मर टू माय होम. मग असं जर का असेल तर फेज आणि अर्थ मध्ये लाईट लागायचं कारण काय? काय? My question is whether neutral is earth or not. At your home you find it comes from pole and earth comes from actual earthing at your apartment, at your home. Is it right? Yes. And neutral comes from pole. On pole from where it comes? Distribution transformer. And the neutral is physically earthed at the distribution transformer. So neutral and earth, I will come to that, are equipotential. The T-terminal hanging is disconnect. म्हणजे तुम्ही जर माझी लेक्चर बघितली असतील मागच्या बेसिक इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्सला, टीचर त्यात काही काही लिहिलं, हा टी आहे. Lamp glows between phase and neutral. Lamp glows between phase and earth. Lamp doesn't glow between neutral and earth. Lamp doesn't glow between neutral and T. But lamp doesn't glow between P and T also. So T is hanging terminal. T is hanging terminal. N and E are same terminals and P is a different terminal. Means E, N and P are in electric circuit of which E and N are same, P is different and P is disconnect. Right? I hope it's quite clear. Now further we will elaborate because that is very significant. A simple question. Since you have watched some lectures, all things need not be explained. Lamp, the switch. 5-volt lamp, 5-volt voltage, and a lamp, when you close the switch, lamp glows. Let the resistance of this lamp be 1 ohm. So, how much current will flow? 5 amperes. So it's a 25-watt lamp. It will glow. A simple thing. Lamp is a resistor. This is battery. Voltage चं आणखीन एक नाव आहे इंग्लिश मध्येच. काय म्हणतो आपण त्याला? व्होल्टेज पोटेन्शियल डिफरन्स किंवा आणि ई वरनं चालू आहे ते. EMF. So it is force. Right? What is that force? This battery exerts force in such a manner that the positive terminal of battery. Now, again, there are many things that in a metallic conductor, electrons are said to be free. Some other problem asa hoto ki I need to, which is very difficult to demarcate, but we have to stop somewhere from going deep, otherwise we will not be able to convert. So let us not go into that details. Let us say that the metal required contains free electrons. So what the negative terminal does? Negative terminal is exerting a force to move free electrons away. Are you getting me? Negative terminal काय करते हैं? Electrons ला दूर ढकून देते हैं. आणि positive काय करते हैं? Tries to attracting them. Force. So force should lead to what? Newton's law. Simple. Force leads to acceleration. A constant force should lead to, listen very carefully, each and every word is important. A constant force, 5 volt is constant. Constant force should lead to constant acceleration. मग constant acceleration असेल तर स्पीड काय व्हायला पाहिजे? स्पीड सेम नाही, स्पीड कॉन्स्टंटली इन्क्रीजिंग. I will give an example. You come on a vehicle, either 2 or 4 wheeler. In our right hand side, there is we have a grip and there is a one terminal which we vary. What is that called as? Accelerator. It is called as accelerator. There is zero position, गाड़ी शुरू होत नाही. We increase the accelerator position. So if we keep the accelerator position at some constant point, काय व्हायला पाहिजे? त्याचं नाव काय आहे? Accelerator. मग acceleration constant असेल, स्पीड कंटिन्युअस इन्क्रीज व्हायला पाहिजे. रस्त्यावर होतं का? ऍक्सिलरेटर कॉन्स्टंट असेल तर काय होतं? स्पीड कॉन्स्टंट राहतो. मग असं हे कसं काय? सेम थिंग इज हियर. आपण शिकलोय कॉन्स्टंट व्होल्टेज सोर्स, कॉन्स्टंट रेजिस्टन्स, कॉन्स्टंट करंट. पण व्होल्टेज म्हणजे ईएमएफ आहे. इलेक्ट्रॉन्स ऍक्सिलरेट झाले पाहिजेत, म्हणजे करंट वाढत वाढत गेला पाहिजे. तसं होत नाही. गाडी रस्त्याने आपण जातो, ऍक्सिलरेटर एका पोझिशनला ठेवतो, गाडी कंटिन्युअस वाढत गेला पाहिजे, स्पीड वाढत नाही, कॉन्स्टंट राहतो का? What is the reason? So when we are moving a vehicle, if you are on a soft plain road, what will happen? If you are on a very plain road, like some kind of racer track, very fine coated, and you keep the same accelerator position, say 10 degrees, what speed will achieve? It will be, for same accelerator position, the speed may be 50 kilometers. Whereas you have got a very rough road, and keep the same accelerator position. What speed you will get? Less speed, right? So what happens? There is a frictional force. But frictional force constant आहे का? तो कशावर डिपेंड आहे? रोडवर तर आहेच. आणि but he said on a given road, whether frictional force is constant, then it depends on speed. Are you getting me? So there is a frictional force. There is frictional force which is so how? It's a very simple question. How you will find out what will be the speed at which the vehicle will run for a given acceleration? For it means when you put accelerator means you apply some force F. You apply some force F.